What is up, everybody? Jaco here today. I am on my way to the gym. 1 second. Alabama, Alaska. Oh my goodness. I'm on my way to the gym, and I wanted to give an update on my house progress. Now, if you don't care about this, I understand. I tried to make my YouTube video about my life and what's going on in my life to show people that I'm just a regular person with a regular life, with a regular family. So I wanted to talk about my house sale and what's going on with that. So my house has been listed since my birthday, September 9th. So we got all of September and all of October. Wait, September going into October, October going into November. So 2 months, I would say, a little over 2 months. And roughly, I've been having a showing every 2 weeks, which is pretty pathetic. So I was speaking to my realtor, who's just like, oh, your house is getting 1/10 of the showings that other houses have been getting. And she's saying primarily it's because of your polished porcelain tile. It seems to be very contemporary, and people around here don't like contemporary, which is strange because I'm from South Florida and people love contemporary over there. So it's very different. And honestly, if I knew I was going to sell my house and knew I had to sell my house and knew it wasn't going to work out here, I would have never done my floors. But it's too late to apologize. That's a song. So, as I told you guys last time, I've been working on a new property in Florida, trying to get a deal arranged, and I managed to get the deal done. Now, instead of having no contingency, a $10K non-refundable deposit, somehow I managed to get 60-day contingency to get a contract on my house, not close, a contract, so it's pretty much 90 days. To get a contract on my house, but I had to put down $70,000, which is refundable. Thank the Lord, have mercy. So, I put my deposit down already, but I have to have my house in contract in those 60 days from yesterday. And the way things are going, business is not picking up. The housing market is dead, and because of my floors, I'm getting 1/10 of the showings that other homes are getting. A big issue within this area is they just keep building and building and building. So there's just so many new houses available where you're at a point, it's like, why should I buy a house that's 8 months old if I can get one that's brand new? However, my perspective and my personal opinion, as somebody who owned multiple new houses, that it's better to buy a house and you get the kinks out of it first than to buy one brand new and have to deal with a bunch of stuff, right? And my house still is in the builder's 1-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, meaning if anything goes wrong besides touch-ups and cracks and stuff like that, then it's covered, right? Gee, the temperature is hot in here. So, it's still covered, but I don't know if the market's going to get better or get worse. And I don't know what interest rates are. I definitely have to work on that as well because I have to lock in an interest rate before it goes up, if it goes up. So I got to work on that on my new property as well. So I'm excited about my new house, but I'm also optimistic, not negative, optimistic about my house not selling in time. And then here's the deal. Once that time is over, I have to negotiate and hope that they allow me more time because the house is probably not going to be done until the end of April. I'm at the end of March going into April. So that being said, if they have my $70,000, more than likely they're going to allow me to increase the time to get a contract on my house. Because at that time, probably houses are going to be a little lower. So they already have their money set in for the house. Interest rates may be a little higher, so less people are going to qualify. I think they're going to want to work with me. I believe they're going to want to work with me. So that's the good news. And that hypothetically all goes to shit, I still have that deposit that is refundable. And I need to make sure that it's always going to be refundable, or else it's not worth doing. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I could lose $70,000. That's a lot of money to lose. So that is my update. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my home. There's no Matterport on my house and there's no video on my house. So I think maybe making one of those is gonna help, weed out the people who don't want to see it and have people who want to see it and are really interested in it. It's a shame because everybody who saw my house, quote unquote, was qualified to purchase it based on their pre-approval letter, but none of them made an offer, and most of the comments that came from it were negative comments regarding rooms being too small, not enough storage place, we don't like the floors, we don't care for the floors are too modern, the house is too contemporary. So a lot of negative comments. It's not like, hey, it's just a little price too high, blah, blah, blah. So also, since I listed the home, I've done a $5K decrease on the house price, and I did a $10K decrease on the house price. So now when I priced my house, I priced it to break even, right? I'm $15K under now, and I'm prepared to go down another $10,000 if I have to. But that's pretty much my breaking point. That's pretty much the point where I'm like, listen, I'm just going to keep losing money. Now, there's a lot of things to look at, and I'll say this. When I sold my house in Florida, I bought that house for $430,000, I believe, thousand. It might be $440,000. I think it was $430,000 it might have been $422,000. I think it was $422,000. And I sold it for $535,000 like 8 months later. So yeah, I made a bunch of money there. And that one I had a 4% interest rate. So I made money there. I bought my house in Texas for $640,000 and put $10,000 into it with a 3.35 interest rate. Damn, I should have went. And now I'm buying a house that's $700,000 with a $50K incentive possibly. And hold on. With a $50K incentive possibly. Damn, my transmission sucks. But possibly a 7.5 or higher interest rate, which is absurd. But I'm getting a house that's the same size as my house in Texas, which normally my house in Texas would be, my house in Florida, the way it's designed and everything, would probably be about $300,000 more than what I paid for it. So this house, without the incentive, is only $60,000 more. So it's not the worst. It's also a bigger yard, more space between the neighbors, a bigger driveway. So there's definitely perks to it. It's just not as luxurious build-wise, if I'm saying that right. It doesn't have like huge double high ceilings in multiple areas, etc., etc. But it has a lot of great design options. It has like $180,000 in options into it. So it's not a bum house. Like, it's all quartz in all the bathrooms, etc., etc. So it's a really nice house. It's just 3,450 square feet, same as what I'm working with now. But it could be a forever home if I'm not trying to go up to the next level, depending on my income, etc., etc., etc. So it's definitely a gorgeous house, and I'm definitely excited for it. And I'm definitely excited to move. But again, being optimistic and being realistic, if this house doesn't sell, then I can't get that house. And I have to understand that and accept that and just live with that. So my goal, one, is to find a buyer for my house. And my goal, two, is 3 months before closing to work my butt off and make a lot of money, because my income from my tax returns doesn't make sense at all. And the reason for that is my last tax return is from 2020, and I made a fortune, started the pandemic, and now my income is like almost a third of that. So for 3 months, I have to just show that I'm making a lot of money. This way they don't question it, even though I'm putting like 50% down. So that being said, I just gotta hope, and I gotta work hard, and I gotta, find a way to sell my house. I gotta see when my contract ends with my realtor, because I think I might ask to get out of my contract early to find somebody who's gonna push the sale more, or she just has to figure out ways to work harder. I don't know if I have to do open houses or not. I don't do them because of the situation that happened within my neighborhood. I don't trust it. So unless I'm sitting there at the open house, like I don't care. I'll sit there and watch people, but obviously that's not professional and that's not what should be done. So that's the unfortunate part of that. But I have to figure it out. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'm also thinking about contacting OfferPad. So if you've ever heard of OfferPad, apparently they buy your house from you. But at the same time, I know they're not going to offer that much because that's why they're in business. They're in business to make money, not to lose money. So I highly doubt they're going to offer me that much money. My assumption is they would offer me like $600,000. That's it. And that's a huge loss for me. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I hope everybody's having a good time. It's 48 degrees out here today, a little cold for my Floridian behind. So take care.